Hello again, everybody. David Clary along with Jordan Osborne here in Cookeville, Tennessee, getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, the Wildcats, and the Cookeville Cavaliers on the road here in a beautiful blue sky over the field here at Cookeville. Let me run down the starting lineups. First off, for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats, leading things off and playing center field will be Matthew Swigert. Batting second will be the catcher, Jacob Franklin. Batting third and playing third base will be Caden Updegraft. Batting fourth and playing second base will be Logan Rosenberg. The right fielder and batting fifth will be Alex McNaughton. Batting sixth for the Wildcats will be the first baseman, Bryce Litwakowski. Pitching for the Wildcats tonight will be Bryson Parks. He'll be hitting in the number 7 position. The number 8 hitter will be the designated hitter. That'll be Zach Lang. He'll be hitting for the left fielder, Mitchell Gibbons. And batting ninth will be the shortstop for the Wildcats, Caden Black. Now for the Cookeville Cavaliers, as I turn over to look at their roster here. I'm going to have to do double duty here, Jordan, as leading things off for them will be the center fielder, Jackson Kelly. Batting second will be the second baseman, Skylar Allen. Batting third will be Jordan Davis, the shortstop. The number 4 hitter will be Ty Gannett. He's the designated hitter, hitting for the pitcher, Connor Holmes. The number 5 hitter will be the right fielder, Logan Sides. And the 5th hitter will be Christopher Hall. He'll be playing first base. And the left fielder will be Carson Ragland, hitting in the number 7 position. The number 8 hitter will be the catcher, Luke Smith. And the number 9 hitter will be Ethan Ennis. He'll be playing third base for the Cookeville Cavaliers. We are live here on Prep Radio on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you tuning in our broadcast today. We have just done a few of these, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this ball game without any technical glitches. I've been assured by our technical genius and computer programmer, Jordan Osborne, that we should have 2 hours of good, solid baseball for you here on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. My name is David Clary. We're just moments away from the national anthem and the starting lineups to be introduced here from this beautiful facility in Cookeville, Tennessee. We'll be back in a moment. David Clary back here along with Jordan Osborne as we get ready for the Oak Ridge Wildcat ball game against the Cookeville Cavaliers. Just moments away from the national anthem here. We've got a sparse kind of a crowd here. Kind of a slight wind blowing from the first base side out to left field. It's a beautiful facility. As I said, the grass is perfectly manicured, a dirt infield, and a dirt area around the home plate area. And we're looking forward to another night of baseball. The Wildcats coming off of a sweep of the Clinton Dragons on Monday and Tuesday. Yesterday's ball game against the Fulton Falcons was called off due to rain. The Wildcats have scheduled another ball game to be played tomorrow at Bobby Hopkins Field in Oak Ridge against Cookeville. That'll be a game that Coach Free told me they just needed to play a ball game. They were originally trying to get Fulton to come or schedule a game with Fulton, but Fulton didn't want to play on Saturday. So Coach Free contacted Cookeville, and they will be playing live at Bobby Hopkins Field, 2:30, and that'll be a ball game we will not stream. Obviously, we do not stream the home ball games. That'll be a home ball game, but please come out and support the Wildcats, 2:30 Saturday in Oak Ridge. Still a few minutes away, obviously. They're waiting to the very last moment to start the ball game. Maybe they're waiting for the umpires to show up. It's Oak Ridge and Cookeville. We are live streaming this ball game on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We're going to do several of these ball games this year. We might have a few as well on FM 92.7. And we're glad you've tuned in, and hopefully you'll watch the baseball TV show as well. That will be seen each and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, and that is on BBB Channel 12. And we'll hope you'll tune in for that each and every Wednesday night here during the spring. So moments away from the start of this one, Jordan Osborne is doing camera work and technical work. So I'm just going to tell you this. If it goes off the air at any point during the course of our broadcast, his name is Jordan Osborne. He is the guy doing the technical work, and he's done actually a great job. We got set up in record time here at Cookeville, and we appreciate him. And Christian Roses Rodriguez, our engineer back in Oak Ridge, providing technical support as well. It's Oak Ridge and Cookeville, live here from Cookeville, Tennessee. We'll be back hopefully with the start of the ball game in a moment. David Clary back here along with Jordan Osborne getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball. The two coaches are meeting with the umpires at home plate. Just a little bit slow to getting underway here, but we appreciate the 7 people that are watching us right now, Jordan. Hopefully our numbers will expand as we get a little farther on. And it looks like we have doubled that. We're up to 16 people watching, and we are glad you are part of the broadcast here on our YouTube channel. We are not going to broadcast every ball game. We will broadcast several of the faraway ball games for sure. We will try to broadcast. Obviously, the school has a policy about streaming home ball games, but we want you to come out and support the guys. Obviously, with an outdoor facility, there's less risk, obviously, of COVID, and you can always wear your mask, and we encourage you to do that. They do still check your temperature at the door. And I went through the lineups earlier, but let me go through them once again because we've had a little bit of a delay getting underway. But leading things off for the Wildcats will be the center fielder, Matthew Swigert. Batting second will be the catcher, Jacob Franklin. Batting third will be the third baseman, Caden Updegraff. Batting fourth will be the second baseman, Logan Rosenberg. Batting fifth will be the right fielder, Alex McNaughton. Brian Ludwikowski is the first baseman. Brian Parks will be pitching today. Zach Lang is the designated hitter, hitting for the left fielder, Mitchell Gibbons. And the number 9 hitter will be Caden Black. Cavaliers are about to take the field, and we'll have the starting lineups quickly for them. I'll run them down really quickly.
Number 15, Matthew Swigert.
We'll do that here as Jackson Kelly will lead things off, play center field. Skylar Allen will be the second baseman for them. Jordan Davis, Ty Gant, along with Logan Sides, Christopher Hall, Carson Ragland, Luke Smith, and Ethan Ennis. That's the starting lineups for the Cookeville Cavaliers. The Wildcats are lining up on the third base side as the starting lineups are introduced out on the field. As you can see them, the Wildcats are wearing their all gray jerseys with cardinal, a little bit of white on it. The Cookeville Cavaliers in their white baseball pants with blue jerseys with white numerals and red as well. The Wildcats have won 2 consecutive ball games, a sweep over the Clinton Dragons, trying to take on a really good baseball program traditionally, the Cookeville Cavaliers, here on this beautiful day here in Putnam County. And we're about to have the national anthem, I would assume, as the rest of the Wildcats come out of the dugout to join their teammates. And we'll have the national anthem here from Cookeville, live here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Thanks for tuning us in.
And now the starting lineup for your very own Cavaliers. Leading off and playing center field, number 7, Jackson Kelly. Batting second and playing second base, number 16, Skylar Allen. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 6, Jaden Davis. Batting cleanup and playing a designated hitter, number 22, Ty Gant. Hitting fifth and playing right field, number 28, Logan Side. Batting sixth and playing at first base, number 24, Christopher Hall. Hitting seventh and playing in left field, number 27, Carson Ragland. Batting eighth and playing at catcher, number 11, Luke Smith. Batting ninth and playing at third base, number 18, Ethan Ennis. And starting on the mound for the Cavaliers, number 12, Connor Holmes. The Cavaliers are coached by head coach Brent Butch Chaffin and assistant coaches Josh Why Is My Roof Leaking Bayless, Justin Captain Fun Pearson, and Alex Bray. Now, we ask that you stand and remove your hats as Davey Rowland gives the invocation, and please remain standing and honoring America with the playing of our national anthem.
Father, I just first of all want to thank you and praise you for the opportunity to come out here in the free country that we live in to play a great game like baseball. I thank you for both teams, and I just ask for a spirit of sportsmanship and for each team to try hard. And Lord, that you be glorified through everybody and everyone's interactions this evening. We thank you and praise you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the and the home of the brave.
It's our national anthem here from Cookeville, Tennessee, getting set for Oak Ridge High School baseball here on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. Thanks for tuning us in wherever you might be. And it looks like we're a little over 25 people viewing us right now. Hopefully our numbers will get up. Had over 400 people watch our ball game against the Clinton Dragons this past Tuesday. As we're about to get underway here, the Wildcats trying to continue this winning streak, win their third consecutive game. Cookeville is a program that has absolutely been a really, really good team over the last several years. I was looking at some of their records earlier. They have a ton of district champions, ton of regional champions. They've been to the state tournament, even runner-up in the state one time. Connor Holmes is the pitcher for the Cookeville Cavaliers. As I mentioned, he'll be facing the Wildcats' top three, Matthew Swiger, Jacob Franklin, and Caden Updegraff. So a couple changes in the starting lineup, at least in the batting order for the Wildcats, and moving Caden Updegraff up in the order. He had a couple of hits the other night in the victory over the Clinton Dragons. Had a couple doubles in that one. Of course, Matthew Swiger just hitting a little under 700, and he's going to remain in the leadoff man. Jacob Franklin will be doing the catching duties today. He's moved up a bit as well in the lineup. It'll be Swigert against Holmes. Matthew will step in here in a moment. Comes into this game with a batting average of .632. He is 12 for 18 on the year. He's knocked in 8 runs. That is the most on the team. He's walked 4 times. He hit his first career home run as a Wildcat the other night at the Fairgrounds in Clinton, Tennessee. And he's about to step in for the Wildcats, and we're about to have the first pitch of the ball game here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. Right-handed hitting senior steps in against the right-handed throwing Connor Holmes. Oak Ridge Baseball here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning us in. Matthew steps in, as I mentioned, right-handed hitter, and the first pitch of the ballgame. Here it is. It is a called strike on the inside corner at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Oak Ridge fans filing into Cookeville here, a little slower to get here as Matthew steps back in once again. Holmes has the sign and the 1-strike pitch. Hit well, hit deep. Very deep. The left fielder going back on. It's over his head. It's going to go all over the fence. And that is another home run for Matthew. Oh, it's a double. It is a home run for Matthew Swigert. It just kept sailing and sailing and sailing and went over the fence. So back-to-back ball games, Matthew Swigert has gone deep for the Wildcats, and that is a great start for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. He had never hit a home run in a varsity ball game until Tuesday, and he does it on the second pitch of the ball game, and Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 1-0. I don't think that even he thought it was out because he stopped at second and looked out that way, and the umpire was signaling home run, and the Wildcats have a 1-0 lead. Batter now will be Jacob Franklin, the catcher, and the first pitch to him is roped to the second baseman, and that is out number one. The ball's hit right on the button, but out number one. One run in on the leadoff home run by Matthew Swigert. The batter now is Caden Updegraff. Caden steps in this one, looking at his average. He comes in at .429. He's 3 for 7 on the year. He's a right-handed hitting junior, facing Holmes. Leadoff home run to start the ball game. And here's the pitch to the plate. It's low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. I hadn't even gotten really set here to get my book set up here, and already Oak Ridge has a 1-0 lead. Updegraff back in. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch is going to be a called strike on the outside corner. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-0 Oak Ridge on the home run by the hottest hitter in the Wildcat lineup, Matthew Swigert. His second home run in 2 games. That pitch is fouled at the plate, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Updegraff will be followed by Logan Rosenberg. He's in the on-deck circle for the Wildcats. Updegraff back in, behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch is cut on a miss, and that is a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 2 here in the top half of the first inning. And here comes Logan Rosenberger. Rosenberger comes in 3 for 19 on the year. He's knocked in 3, has 2 doubles, has walked 2 times. On deck for the Wildcats will be Alex McNaughton, but there are 2 outs here in the first inning. Right-handed hitting junior, the pitch to him is on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Broadcasting live here on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. Thank you very much for watching us. And the 1-strike pitch to Rosenberger is on the inside corner again, and that is a called strike. So Logan behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Wildcats here. Connor Holmes comes to the plate with a 2-strike pitch. Hit in the air softly on the infield. Shortstop backing up in the shallow left field. Makes the catch for out number 3. But a productive first inning for the Wildcats. A leadoff home run by Matthew Swigert. And Oak Ridge leads Cookeville 1-0. We'll be back on YouTube in a moment. David Clary back here along with Jordan Osborne. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Wildcats on top 1-0. Matthew Swigert with another home run, 9th RBI on the year. On the hill for the Wildcats, Bryson Parks. He is 0-1 on the year. Pitched 3 innings up in Upper East Tennessee. Gave up 2 hits, 4 runs against Kingsport Dobbins Bennett, getting an opportunity to play another pretty good ball club, a non-district ball game in the Cookeville Cavaliers. And the first 3 he'll be facing will be the center fielder, Jackson Kelly, Skylar Aller, the second baseman, and looks like Jordan Davis, the shortstop. right-handed hitter. Left fielder steps in against Parks. And the bottom half of the first about to get set here from Cookeville, Tennessee. The sign from Franklin, the pitch to the plate, is a little bit outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 our score here as we play here in Cookeville. Jordan's doing good work. We're still on the air, so congratulations there, Jordan Osborne. Good work on the technical side of things. I'm glad he's here to do that. Pitch is in there. Well, going to call that one a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Squeezing the strike zone just a little bit there. 2 balls, no strikes. 1-0 our score. Parks to the plate. Here it comes. That's going to hit him. So leadoff man is aboard with a hit batsman. And he had really been close to the strike zone until that one. And that's the leadoff man for the Cookeville Cavaliers. He represents the tying run. Here comes Skylar Allen. He is a left-handed hitter. Stands in for the Cookeville Cavaliers. We broadcast here on YouTube. Runner first, a good-sized lead taken out there by Jackson Kelly. Parks is a right-hander. He checks the runner, comes to the plate, swung on and missed. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. The throw goes over the top of Parks, but tracked down by the shortstop, Caden Black. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. 1-0 Oak Ridge as we play here in the bottom half of the first inning. Decent crowd on hand here. Beautiful night here in Cookeville. The moon's above the right field side of the field. A throw over to first, and back safely will go Jackson Kelly. The infield for the Wildcats, Caden Updegraff's at third. Caden Black is the shortstop. Logan Rosenberger is the second baseman. Bryce Ludwikowski's runner going. Here comes the throw down, and the throw is a little offline. Got a kind of a slow jump there. Probably a better throw would have got him, but that is a stolen base for the Cavaliers, and they have a runner in scoring position now with a no ball, 2 strike count on the batter, Skylar Allen. I think this is the first game that Franklin has caught this year. He was the winning pitcher on Tuesday in the victory over the Dragons. Parks comes to the plate, low and outside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Davis, the shortstop, is on deck for Cookeville. Parks checks the runner back at second. And the 1-2 pitch. Hit foul off to the left side and out of play. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cookeville's colors are red, white, and blue. Their jerseys are primarily blue, as you can see on the TV screen. It'll be easier to see, I think, when the sun goes down a little farther. Parks checks the runner back at second. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 1-0 Oak Ridge. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. That'll move the runner over. Rosenberger lets it go under his glove, and that's going to be an error, and that's going to allow the run to score. Ball was not hit really hard. In fact, Logan had a lot of time to get to it, actually, but just didn't get the glove down on the dirt, and that is an error. And the Cavaliers have tied the ball game on the error, and the batter will be the number 3 hitter, the shortstop, Jaden Davis. Runner takes his lead once again off of first, kind of glaring into the sun over there. As Parks checks the runner, here's the pitch. It's high. Quick throw down, and back safely goes the runner. I think Logan just had a little bit too much time that time. The ball was hit actually fairly softly right at him. Just didn't get the glove down. Tough break for him. Tough break for Bryson Parks. And we got a 1-1 ball game. 1 ball to count. The pitch is hit foul off towards the Oak Ridge dugout. Picked up by one of the assistant coaches and tossed back into play. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first. A leadoff home run by Matthew Swigert, giving the Wildcats the lead. But the Cavaliers are on the board here, and it's tied at 1-1. Here's the pitch. It's hit to right field and deep. Right fielder circling, going back forward. The ball is over his head, all the way back to the fence, and they quickly get the ball in, and they have runners at second and third. A fly ball into the sun. I thought maybe anybody in the right field side would have a little difficulty with it, and that is a double. So now they've got runners
Up next for
at
Cavaliers, number 22.
second and third with nobody out. And the batter will be Ty Gant. He is a designated hitter, hitting for the pitcher, Connor Holmes. The sun is just glaring directly into the eyes of the right fielder, and probably Logan Rosenberger when he was over there at second base on that other play. As again, the designated hitter, number 4 hitter, runners at second and third, still nobody out here in the first inning. Here's the pitch, low and outside. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Oak Ridge High School baseball here on YouTube. 1 ball, no strikes. Runners take their lead off of second and third. The pitch. Oh, boy. Look good from right here. Squeezing the strike zone a little bit, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I tried to say that loud enough for him to hear me. As it's 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out here. Runners at second and third. Parks to the plate. Hit well, but foul. Off to the left side. Deep. Out of here, but will foul. And the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike. The umpire behind the plate looking for more baseballs. One of them is in the pocket of the Swigert family right now that went deep. And the other one is way foul and gone. Parks with a 2 ball, 1 strike count. Calls timeout, the batter does. That's Gant. On deck will be Sides, Logan Sides, the right fielder. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. 1-1 our score. And here comes a 2-1 pitch. Hit in the air on the infield. Shallow. It'll be the center fielder, Matthew Swigert, under it. Makes the catch, and he's going to come home, and he's going to be out by a mile. Very poor base running, and they're going to get a double play at third. Terrible base running by the Cookeville Cavaliers. They run themselves out of what would have been a very productive inning. The ball was hit shallow center field, just barely behind the bag at second base. Matthew Swigert caught it, no hesitation. The runner at third tagged, and he was out by 12 feet. And then the runner broke from second to third, and he was out by 10 feet. So the Cavaliers, what was going to be a productive inning, they run themselves out of it, and we've got a 1-1 ball game. We go to the top of the second, 1-1 our score. Back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville, Tennessee. 1-1 our score. What could have been a very productive inning for Cookeville. They just ran themselves out of it. As Alex McNaughton leads things off for the Wildcats here in the second inning. 1-1 our score. McNaughton steps in for the Wildcats. Right-handed hitter. He is also a junior member of the Wildcats team. And the first pitch to him is low and outside. That is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Alex comes in 2 for 17 on the year. He's knocked in a run. Has yet to walk. He has a double on the year. Right-handed hitter. Heading the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch is down low. And the count getting in Oak Ridge's favor there. 2 for the Cavaliers. He's a right-hander. McNaughton ahead. 2 balls and no strikes. Hit foul out of play over the top of the press box and onto the road behind us. And the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. 1-1 our score here. The Cavaliers had runners at second and third with nobody out. And here's the pitch to the plate. On the inside corner for a called strike. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Catching a little flack from the Oak Ridge dugout to our left. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Holmes has the sign. And the 2-2 pitch to McNaughton. cut on a miss, and that is a swinging strikeout. And that is the second strikeout of the ball game for Connor Holmes. And the batter will be the first baseman, Bryce Lubakowski. He is the first baseman for the Wildcats. A transfer, I think, from New York, I was told, I believe. I'll try to do a better job on his name. I think I butcher it almost every time he bats. And the first pitch to him is cut on and miss on a high strike. And the count is no balls and one strike. On deck for the Wildcats is the pitcher Bryson Parks. Bryce stands back in, behind in the count, no balls, one strike. The pitch, there's a nice pitch in there for a called strike at the knees, and he's ahead 0-2. 1-1 our score here as we play here in the second inning. Game you're watching on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and inside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Wildcats have a ball game scheduled for tomorrow at 2:30 at Bobby Hopkins against Cookeville. That's not on your original schedule. And we'll hope you'll come out. That one's inside, right at the thighs, and the count is going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beautiful moon over the right field portion of the field here. Sunny blue sky here. I think it'll probably get cool as the sun goes down, as that one is fouled back to the screen. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bryson Parks on deck. Nobody on. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Bryce stands back in. He's another right-handed hitter. And the 2-2 pitch is called strike 3. So that is out number 2 and the third strikeout for Connor Holmes. And the batter will be the Oak Ridge pitcher, Bryson Parks. Bryson steps in, batting .300 on the year. He is 3 for 10. He's knocked in 4, has a double, and he stands in with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Connor Holmes gave up a leadoff home run. He's been pretty solid since. That pitch is a little bit high, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Designated hitter Zach Lang is on deck. He's hitting for the left fielder Mitchell Gibbons today. Bryson back in. The pitch called strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hope you enjoyed listening or watching Zach on our Covering the Bases show that can be seen each Wednesday night, 7 o'clock on BBB Channel 12. Here's the pitch, cut on a miss, kind of a half-hearted swing. Kind of might have taken a little shot at right field, and the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lang on deck. The 1-2 pitch. A little bit high and outside. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both teams scored 1 run in the first inning. The Wildcats have gone quietly to this point here in the second. The Wildcats had a couple 2-out rallies in the Clinton ball game on Tuesday. As Park swings and he misses a little off-speed pitch, and that is the third strikeout of the inning. Out number 3. Nothing happening for the Wildcats. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. 1-1 our score. Back to Cookeville in a moment. Welcome back to Cookeville, Tennessee. David Clary, Jordan Osborne back here as the Wildcats and Cookeville Cavaliers are tied at 1 apiece here. Bryson Parks on the hill still for the Cavaliers. He'll be facing the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. And the first pitch is 1 ball, no strikes to the right fielder, Logan Sides. And here's the pitch to him, low and inside. And the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. As I mentioned, the Cavaliers had a golden opportunity in the first inning to score, but weren't able to after their first run, as that pitch is hit foul to the plate. They had runners at second and third, and both of them got nailed in base running mistakes, and the Wildcats got out of that inning with only 1 run scoring. 1-1 our score here, bottom of the second inning. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Cavaliers making noise in their dugout. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that is a called strike. I think he thought that was strike 3, by the way. He signaled, the umpire did, and he's having to change his counter there. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody aboard here. And the pitch is hit on the ground foul up the third base line. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody aboard for the Cavaliers here in Cookeville. Broadcasting on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio, Jordan Osborne doing technical work for us. Appreciate him. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A little bit high and outside. We got a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hall is on deck for the Cavaliers. He'll be followed by Ragland. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Hit foul once again up the third base side. Appreciate Carrie Swigert down there. She's picking up my papers that we're in the kind of the older fashioned bleachers here that have gaps in between them, and I dropped all my paperwork down on the ground. That pitch is a called strike, and that is a strikeout looking. So a good start for Parks here in the second inning. 1 out here, and the batter now will be Christian Hall. He is the first baseman for the Cookeville Cavaliers. Thank you very much. Hopefully it won't happen more than once tonight. Hall steps in here, and the first pitch from Parks is cut on a miss. Good fastball there, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Parks got 1 start. It was upper East Tennessee, probably in the Dobbins-Bennett ball game, I do believe, and pitched 3 innings there. 1 strike to count here on Hall. 1-1 our scores. We play here in the second. Pitch is low and inside, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jacob Franklin is the catcher for the Wildcats. Alex McNaughton's in right, Matthew Swigert's in center, and it looks like Mitchell Gibbons is over in left field. I'll set the infield for you in a moment. Again, that pitch is a called strike at the knees on the inside corner. Lobkowski is at first. Logan Rosenberger is at second. The shortstop is Caden Black. The third baseman is Caden Updegraft. And the catcher, as I mentioned, is Jacob Franklin, and Bryson Parks is on the hill. The pitch is hit foul off to the right side and drifting on top of their little clubhouse over to the right. And the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Christian Hall. He's the first baseman for the Cookeville Cavaliers in a 1-1 ball game here from Cookeville, Tennessee. Our second broadcast on YouTube. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air. That should be caught by Caden Black, and it is at shortstop, and that is out number 2. The ball was just softly hit, easily tracked down by Black, and that is out number 2. And the batter now will be the left fielder, number 27, Carson Ragland. So good start here for the Wildcat pitcher, Bryson Parks. 2 up and 2 down. And the number 7 hitter stands in, another right-handed hitter. Parks to the plate. That one's high. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Two outs here. Nobody aboard. 1-0 pitch. Hit well to left field. Mitchell Gibbons tracking it. Goes over the top of him. Tracks it down, and they're going to have a 2-out double here as the ball got up in the air and Mitchell went back on it, just couldn't quite track it. It was hit deeper, I think, than he thought it was, and that is a 2-out double for the Cookeville Cavaliers. And now the catcher, Luke Smith, will step in for the red, white, and blue. The Cavaliers and the Wildcats, we've played them a lot in baseball. We used to play them in football, it seemed like a lot in the playoffs, but not recently. They have an opportunity with the go-ahead run at second base. Right-handed hitter, number 8 hitter in the Cavalier lineup. Parks trying to get out of here with no damage here. Here's the first pitch. Nice pitch. And that's a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Runner takes his lead off of second. 1-1 our scores. We play here in the bottom of the second inning here in Cookeville. Franklin with the sign. Signal from the Oak Ridge dugout, and the batter calls time, and he steps out. This is Luke Smith, as I mentioned. He is the catcher, number 8 hitter in their lineup. He's behind the count, no balls and 1 strike. Parks checks the runner, and the 1-strike pitch. Low and inside, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Beautiful field here. I was looking at the grass beforehand. It's very like carpet, actually. As there, the grass is green on the infield and on the outfield, a dirt infield, as I mentioned. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The pitch. Hit on the ground softly, right back to the pitcher. Easy throw on the first, and that is out number 3. So the Cavaliers get a 2-out double. They leave him stranded. We go to the top of the third. 1-1 our score from Cookeville. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville, Tennessee, here on our ball game on YouTube. People texting me saying they're watching us. Tommy and Martha Lee are watching us in Oak Ridge right now. It's like Michael Swiggert's watching us, and Mike Sheehan's watching us as well. Appreciate all of you watching our baseball game here as the Wildcats bat here in the top of the third inning in a 1-1 ball game. Designated hitter Zach Lang leads things off for the Wildcats. Yet to pick up a hit this season. 0 for 9, hit the ball well in the Halls ball game 2 weeks ago. Takes the first pitch a little bit high. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Connor Holmes on the hill for the Cavaliers. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A little bit low. Wow. Looked pretty good from here. And the count is even now it's 2 balls and no strikes. A little inconsistent, I think, with the strike zone. I'll be nice. I had a New Year's resolution where I was going to be nice to officials. I blew it on January the 6th as that pitch is down low, and the count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Zach Lang trying to get on base here. Let's see if Zach has walked this year. Mentioned he's yet to pick up a base hit. He has walked 1 time. That was at Halls. 3 balls, no strikes to count to him. On deck is Caden Black, the shortstop. Pitch to the plate, and there's a called strike, and the count now is 3 balls and 1 strike. 1-1 our score. Matthew Swigert, a leadoff home run for the Wildcats, his second career, his second in as many ball games for the Wildcats. Here's the 3-1 pitch on the inside corner. Good pitch there, and the count is full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Good turnout of Cookeville fans here. They got a lot of students in attendance as well. 3 balls, 2 strikes to the number 8 hitter, designated hitter Zach Lang. Senior, pitch to him is cut on a miss, and that is 4 straight strikeouts for Connor Holmes, his 5th of the ball game. And we go to the number 9 hitter, and that'll be Caden Black. Caden comes into this game, let's see, checking his statistics here. He's batting .222, 4 for 18 on the year. Freshman, left-handed hitter, stands in against the right-handed throwing Holmes. 1 out, nobody aboard here. 1-1 our score, the pitch. Hit well, center field, that is a base hit. Solid base knock there for Caden Black, and the Wildcats have a 1-out base runner. And a solid hit by the freshman. And back to the top of the order we go to Matthew Swigert. Matthew, as I mentioned, led the game off with a home run. Matthew, on the year, is now 13 of 20 on the year. He has 9 RBIs, 13 hits, and 20 at-bats for the Wildcats. Quick throw over to first, and back will go the freshman Caden Black. I think his grandfather, Ron Black's watching the ball game today. I was told by son Chris it better be on because they're going to be watching. As the quick throw over to first once again. And back safely will go Caden Black. 1-1 our score here as the Wildcats bat here in the third. Swigert back in. Now working from the stretch. Good lead by Black at first. Here's the pitch to the plate. It gets away, and all the way down the second will go Caden Black. So the Wildcats have a runner in scoring position. And in the person of their number 1 RBI guy, Matthew Swigert. As I mentioned, 9 RBI on the year for the Wildcats. The Wildcats, this is only their 7th ball game. The Wildcats, I think, are 3-3, 3-1 in district play. It's a non-district ball game, of course. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Now Black at second, and the pitch to him. A little bit high, right at the numbers, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Franklin on deck for the Wildcats. Playing catcher, Jacob Franklin was the winning pitcher, as I mentioned earlier, in the Clinton ball game on Tuesday over at the fairgrounds. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Holmes checks the runner back at second. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Hit foul. That'll play over to the right side, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Getting a little chilly here. I told Jordan to dress warmly. He's still wearing his shorts, but he's young. They wear shorts and it's 30 degrees, so I'll be sitting here freezing. Jordan will be fine. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Black takes his lead off of second. Holmes checks him, comes to the plate. Hit, swings through it, and they're going to ask for help, and he did swing, and that is a full even count now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kind of got fooled a little bit on the pitch. Black looks over to the coaching staff, sending signals to him, and Swigert steps back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner in scoring position for the Wildcats in a 1-1 ball game. The pitch hit in the right field. That is going to be another hit, and not far enough really to get Black around. He had to wait just a little bit because the ball just barely cleared the second baseman's head, but it is a base hit, and the Wildcats have him on the corners now, and that is yet another hit for Matthew Swigert. So the Wildcats have runners at first and third, and the number 2 hitter, Jacob Franklin. He popped out to second in the first inning, 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Black, the runner, at third base now. As I mentioned, couldn't score because he wasn't sure the ball wasn't going to be caught because it was a line drive shot, but it was just barely over the top of the second baseman's head. Franklin stands in, as I mentioned, 0 for 1 in the ballgame. The Wildcats trying to break a 1-1 tie here in the top of the third inning. Runner going. Here's the pitch, and the throw goes back to third, and that's a stolen base down there for Swigert. And the Wildcats now have 2 runners in scoring position and a 1 ball, no strike count on Jacob Franklin. Right-handed hitter. He is a sophomore. Batting in the number 2 hole today. And the 1-0 pitch. Hit foul. Out of play over the top of the scoreboard. So they moved Caden Black down from the number 2 position. Had a rough day against the Dragons on Tuesday. Maybe a little pressure off the freshman, and he just promptly lined one into center for a base hit, hitting in the number 9 hole. Now Franklin trying to get these runners in. The pitch bounces away, but not far enough. They don't have a lot of backstop behind the catchers. Hit the concrete and bounce right directly back to the catcher, and the count is now 2-1 strike. So after striking out 4 consecutive batters, including the leadoff man this inning, Holmes has given up 2 hits here. Wildcats have runners at second and third, and Franklin has a 2-1 strike count. He gets tired of waiting and steps out. We ate at the concession stand earlier. They were grilling hamburgers, hot dogs, and chicken sandwiches. I don't think Jordan liked his chicken sandwich. That pitch is hit to right field. That is going to be another base hit. And a late break for Caden Black, and they're going to have a play at the plate, but he gets in safely. So the Wildcats take the lead on the RBI single by Jacob Franklin. So he just hit it where it was pitched. That is an RBI, and that is a single, and in the score, Caden Black. I think Caden didn't really take a good break off of third. He did score, but it was a little closer at the plate than it probably should have been. That ball was hit a little higher. That was definitely going to be a base hit, but now the Wildcats have a runner at third. They're on the corners. And let's see, Coach Free likes to run. Whenever he gets anybody on base, he likes to run, get the base runners moving as the Wildcats stand in here with Caden Updegraft. Caden was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. Oak Ridge has the lead back, 2-1 our score. Holmes checks the runner, Franklin at first. And he's going. The pitch is a called strike, and here comes the throw in down there, and the Wildcats are going to score a run. They're going to call Franklin out, but the Wildcats are going to get a run. As Swigert broke to the plate, he went all the way through with the throw. They did get Franklin. He is caught stealing, but Matthew Swigert comes in and scores the Wildcats' third run, and the Wildcats are on top 3-1. Now there's 2 outs, though. And we've got a 1 strike count on Caden Updegraft. Nobody aboard. 2 runs in. The pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. Very inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here as we play here in the top of the third inning. 3-1 Wildcats. The pitch hit in the air to left field. Left fielder under it. Calls for it. Makes the catch for out number 3. But a very productive inning for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge scores 2 more runs to take a 3-1 lead. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Here from Cookeville, 3-1 Wildcats. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Cookeville, Tennessee. David Clary along with Jordan Osborne. The Wildcats on top now 3-1. Let's see if Parks can get a shutdown inning here. And this first pitch is a called strike. Right-handed hitter. 3-1 Wildcats. And here comes Parks to the plate. Called strike 2. Right at the knees, and the count is 2 strikes. 3-1 Wildcats. The Wildcats using their speed, using their base running, getting some clutch hitting once again. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. Oh, just a little bit outside, I guess. Maybe a little bit high. Not too high. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Parks is a right-hander. And here's the junior's pitch. Swung on a miss. Gets away from the catcher, Jacob Franklin, but he'll throw him out easily for out number 1. So Wildcats, out number 1 here in the third. And back to the top of the order we go. And that'll be Jackson Kelly. Jackson reached base safely in the first inning and came around to score their only run. That is strikeout number 2 for Bryson Parks. The Wildcats on top 3-1 as we play here once again from Cookeville, Tennessee. Top of the order. Here's the pitch. Cut on a missed. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. So Parks getting ahead here. Leadoff man here on deck is Skylar Allen. He reached base safely as well back in the first inning. One of the runners picked off, trying to score. The pitch to him is hit on the ground to the shortstop. Nice play by Black. He throws on the first in time for out number 2. Nice play by the freshman, and the leadoff man is retired, so there are two outs now. The number 2 hitter stands in. The leadoff man in the inning was struck out, but the leadoff man in their order grounds out to Caden Black for out number 2. Stepping in once again, he reached on an error his first plate appearance. Wildcats trying to get the Cavaliers out quickly here in this bottom of the third after the Wildcats put 2 on the board in the top half of the inning. And this is the bottom of the third inning from Cookeville. 1 ball, no strikes. The count. The pitch is hit foul. Straight back into the screen, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I mentioned Bryson Parks had pitched one time before, and that was last weekend up in Kingsport. The Wildcats played Dobbins-Bennett and Tennessee High. Competitive ball games, lost them, but they were competitive as that pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wildcats trying to win their 3rd straight ball game, trying to win their 4th game of the year. The Wildcats 3-1 in the district, as I've mentioned. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Shortstop Davis is on deck. He was involved in one of the bizarre plays that happened in the first, which closed out the inning. The pitch to the plate is hit on the ground. Softly to Rosenberger. Fields it cleanly this time. Throws on the first, and that is an easy inning here in the third. So a shutdown inning for Parks. We go to the top of the 4th inning from Cookeville, Tennessee, and the Wildcats lead Cookeville by a score of 3-1. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville. The Wildcats batting here in the top half of the 4th inning. And it'll be Logan Rosenberger to lead things off for the Wildcats. Wildcats in the lead by a score of 3-1. And there's a called strike. Looked a little low from my vantage point, but he called it a strike. It was definitely low, but it's okay. No balls, 1 strike to count. Rosenberger stands in. Right-handed hitting junior. Playing second base, has played a variety of positions, including pitcher. He is one of the, maybe the ace at this point. He's pitched against the Red Devils and the Dragons. Has played a little third, played a little second. It's all over. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. The pitch a little bit outside, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Oak Ridge on top, 3-1 as we play here in the 4th inning. In high school baseball, Jordan, they play 7 innings, so it's not a full 9. Just to let you know there. Got some more people watching us on our stream. We're up to about 40 as that pitch is down low a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. The Wildcats would love to get their leadoff man on a board. Wildcats will have Rosenberger along with McNaughton, and for the Wildcats, Lobakowski. Rosenberger stands back in. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch hit foul. And back our way. Jordan asked me on the way up here, would he be in danger of being hit by balls? And that is an absolute yes. But so far, none have come our way. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rosenberger stands back in. He's a right-handed hitter. And the pitch to him is outside a ball. So the Wildcats do get their leadoff man aboard with nobody out. He'll be the base runner at first, and the batter will be the right fielder. That is Alex McNaughton. Alex was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning, so he's 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Let's see how quickly Rosenberger runs here. The Wildcats, as soon as they get them on, they like to get them over. There's a throw over to first, and Logan is back with ease. 3-1 Wildcats as the Wildcats bat here in the 4th inning, top of the 4th inning. Thanks for tuning us in. We've got a lot of people watching right now, and we appreciate that. I know there's a lot of people, especially who had to work today, couldn't get on the road and get to Cookeville in time, and that's one of the reasons we decided to broadcast this ball game in particular, because we knew a lot of people might not be able to make the trip all the way up here. 1 ball, no strikes to count. McNaughton stands back in. He's a righty, hitting in the number 5 spot in Coach Travis Free's lineup today. 1-0 pitch on the inside corner, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Logan Rosenberger, the runner at first for the Wildcats. He takes his lead with his 2 sliding gloves on. Positions himself to go here. Holmes is going to throw over that way, and easily back to the bag goes Logan. I don't know if you're following that at first or not, Connor. Or you're not Connor, you're Jordan. Who is Connor? He's the pitcher. Connor Holmes. And here's the pitch. That's a called strike. That's the best pitch of the sequence here, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wildcats trying to get more runners in scoring position. Logan hasn't attempted to go here. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And let's see. Here's the pitch to McNaughton. He swings and he misses, and that is a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 1 here in the 4th inning. Oak Ridge in the lead by a score of 3-1. And Lodowkowski is the first baseman. He is going to step in for the Wildcats. He was a strikeout victim as well back in the 2nd inning. Got caught looking in that one. Right-handed hitter. As I mentioned, he came from upstate New York to join the Wildcat staff. Got a chance to learn a little bit about him on our TV show that we have each Wednesday night. We will have each Wednesday night, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock on BBB Channel 12. Rosenberger staying at first. The pitch is a called strike, and Bryce behind in the count now, no balls and 1 strike. Bryson Parks is on deck for the Wildcats. Throw over to first once again, and Rosenberger is back safely. 3-1 Wildcats. Oak Ridge batting here in the 4th inning. Rosenberger takes his lead once again. Parks, as I mentioned, is on deck. 1 out here in the 4th. Sun setting here. Beautiful moon. We'll get a shot of the moon here in a bit. Maybe. 1 strike pitch is hit foul. And that'll play over to the right side. And now Bryce behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff home run by Matthew Swigert. Counted for the Wildcats' first run. The Wildcats scored 2 in the 3rd inning. The Cavaliers' lone run came in the 2nd inning, or actually the 1st inning as well. I looked at the wrong score sheet. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Oh, called strike 3. couldn't pull the trigger, and that is the second time tonight that the Wildcat first baseman has gone down looking. Now there are 2 outs, and the batter will be Bryson Parks. Parks was a strikeout victim himself back in the second inning. Holmes has been hit or miss. He has a ton of strikeouts in this one, but he's also given up 3 runs and some hard hit balls. And he checks Rosenberger. He has stayed put there at first. Here's the pitch, and it's high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Wildcats have 3 stolen bases in this one, including a steal of the plate. Swigert came in to score the Wildcats one of the runs in the previous inning. I almost dropped my paperwork once again, but all is well. 1 ball, no strikes. Park stands back in. Rosenberger takes his lead off of first and once again draws a throw right there on the bag. And the count is 1 ball, no strikes. It's hard doing ball games in the bleachers. We learned to do it quite effectively during football season this year, when most of the schools would not allow us into their press box because of COVID reasons. And we're doing it from here just for camera reasons here today and Tuesday. That pitch is down low, and the count now is 3 balls and no strikes to Parks. On deck for the Wildcats, the designated hitter, Zach Lang. Actually, the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Rosenberger reached base on a walk to open the inning. The Wildcats back-to-back strikeouts here, so there's 2 outs. 2 balls and no strikes to count. And the pitch, a little bit outside, and the count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Oak Ridge will play Cookeville tomorrow at 2:30. That game will be at Bobby Hopkins Field. It's not a regularly scheduled ball game because of the cancellation of the Fulton game yesterday. Coach Free decided he needed another ball game, so he called his friends in Coalfield, and they're going to come to Bobby Hopkins 2:30 tomorrow. Oak Ridge's home field. 3 balls, no strikes to count. On the inside corner, the old automatic, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. As I mentioned, Zach Lang is on deck, but there are 2 outs here. Park stands in once again. Connor Holmes, the pitcher for the Cavaliers, checks the runner. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And they're going to say a balk, I believe. And down the second will go Rosenberger. And he is in scoring position now. So I didn't see it actually, but I guess there was a balk there. And the count now is 3 balls, 1 strike. So a no pitch on the previous pitch, allowing Rosenberger into scoring position. 2 outs. Parks back in, and the pitch. Hit foul. And that'll play off to the right side. And the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rosenberger in scoring position. 2 outs, 3-1. Wildcats as Oak Ridge bats here in the 4th inning. Cavaliers had a golden opportunity to score more runs in the first inning. They were only able to get 1. Some base running mistakes by them cost them dearly. 3-2 pitch to Parks. Hit foul. It actually is a swinging strikeout, and the catcher's going to have to throw him out. I don't think he's going to. He's going to throw it over, and the Wildcats are going to score another run. So a swinging strike off the helmet of the catcher. It bounced back to the screen. He tracked it down. Parks took off towards first. Coming in to score in one of the oddest runs comes Rosenberger, and Oak Ridge leads it now by a score of 4-1. And we've got a courtesy runner in the ball game for Parks. So a strikeout. Give the pitcher credit for a strikeout. And it went off the helmet of the catcher. And the run scored. Just an odd way to score runs, but the Wildcats have said, Coach Free has told me that they're going to, when they get runners on, they're going to get them in motion, and that was just a great play for the Wildcats. Rosenberger just came all the way in from second as the ball bounced away, and the Wildcats have their 4th run, and they lead it 4-1. And the batter now will be Zach Lang. Courtesy runner is, I think, Joey Weston out there at first base, being the courtesy runner for the pitcher. You can run for the pitcher and the catcher and still re-enter the ball game. And there's a called strike to Zach. He was a strikeout victim in his first plate appearance to lead off the third inning. Wildcats up on the Cavaliers 4-1 as we play here in the top of the fourth. Holmes looks for the sign. Weston, a good-sized lead. Off the bag. I think that's him down there. Here's the pitch to Zach. It's hit foul back our way and out of play. Just barely missed a man walking along the sidewalk there on this side of the fence. And the count is 0-2 to Zach Lang. He is the number 8 hitter in the Wildcat lineup. Caden Black, who had a single to center in his first plate appearance, is on deck. Here's a quick throw. And back safely will go the Wildcat runner. 4-1 our score. The Wildcats have a single run in the first, 2 runs in the third, a solo run here in the fourth to take a 4-1 lead. Here's the pitch. A little bit outside. Good eye that time by Zach Lang. He's the designated hitter, hitting for the left fielder today. Mitchell Gibbons. Mitchell playing his first year of high school baseball. Played as a youngster, but getting a chance to play as a senior. Zach stands back in. The runner is going. That is a swinging strikeout, and that is out number 3. But the Wildcats score a run. They do it with their speed as usual. The Wildcats leave a runner. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Oak Ridge on top of Cookeville 4-1. We'll be back to Cookeville High School in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville, Tennessee. Davis leads things off for the Cavaliers. Wildcats on top 4-1. Davis is the number 3 hitter. He reached base safely in the first inning, failed to score, and he takes a called strike, and that evens the count at 1-1 strike. A little bit dark here in my 29-year-old eyes. Not quite seeing the scorebook like I should. No comment there. As here's the pitch to the plate. There's a called strike at the belt, and the count is now 1-2 strikes. Wildcats scoring an interesting run the previous half inning. They lead it 4-1 as we play here in the fourth inning. Parks has gone all the way for the Wildcats. Comes to the plate. The pitch hit on the ground softly to the third baseman. Caden Updegraff has the play. Not in time. That's an infield single. Ball was not hit hard at all. And a leadoff single for Davis. As I mentioned, Caden actually fielded it well, got a good throw off, but ball was hit so softly, and that was the number 3 hitter. He was playing back anyway, so there was really no shot in the world to get Davis, and Gant will be the batter here. Wildcats on top 4-1. This is their cleanup man. He was the guy who was hitting and flew out to left, which started that bizarre triple play in the ball game, which you don't see very often. Obviously, here's a quick throw to first. He flew out to center. That was the first out. Matthew Swigert threw it home, caught the runner at the plate. That was out number 2. Threw it back to third, and that was a triple play. And you don't see that very often. This ball is hit well to left field. Mitchell Gibbons back on it, has a beat on it, makes the catch for out number 1. The ball was hit well but out, stayed in the yard, and that is out number 1. Mitchell Gibbons on the catch out in left field. And the batter now will be the Cavaliers. Their right fielder, Logan Sides, runner at first. Now Jacob Franklin wanders out to have a discussion with his pitcher. Right-handed hitter. 4-1 Wildcats here. 1-0 is our score as we play here at Cookeville High School. Got all kinds of people watching us here. And once again, Mike Sheehan is watching us somewhere. And we're also on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15, I was just told. David Kolodny, the TV teacher, has put us on Channel 15. So we're not only on YouTube right now, we're on Channel 15. 4-1 Wildcats. The Cavaliers have a runner at first. Here's the pitch to the plate. Hit off the end of the bat softly. Wildcats, here comes the throw and the out. The Wildcats might have been a little bit of a miscommunication there as the first baseman comes off the bag. It was hit like a cue ball right off the end of the bat. But a great play, honestly, because pitcher Parks did his job, covered the bag, and outran the man to first. Down to second will go the runner, but there's 2 outs now. The ball was just hit just right off the end of the bat. And a nice play by Lobakowski and Parks, who covered the bag, and that is the second out of the inning. The batter now is the first baseman. That'll be Christian Hall. He's a right-handed hitter. They've got a runner in scoring position. 2 outs, though. Parks, the right-hander, trying to get through the fourth once again. He's stranded a few out there. As the pitch to the plate looked good from here, but might have been a little bit low, might have been a little outside. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Triple play. You don't see those very often in a baseball ball game. But that's what we had here in the first inning, which cost the Cavaliers dearly. Here's the pitch to the plate. There's a called strike. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Parks has given up but the 1 run. That came in the first inning. The Wildcats have a single run in the first. They had 2 in the third and a solo run in the fourth for their 4-1 lead. Comes a quick throw back, and covering the bag there was Caden Black, but base runner hadn't really gotten far off the bag at second, and easily back to the bag goes the base runner for Cookeville. We're broadcasting here on our YouTube channel. We're also, as I mentioned, on Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15. We got a lot of parents and grandparents watching us right now. Here's the pitch. Bounces away. They have a play at third. Here comes the throw, but not in time. Ball just bounced away a little bit from Jacob Franklin, and he made a really good throw down to Caden Updegraff, but he was able to get under the tag, and they have a runner at third with 2 outs and a 2 ball, 1 strike count on their number 6 hitter. Jacob Franklin is the catcher, as I mentioned. Parks is normally the starting catcher. In the Halls ball game, I think Zach Lang started at catcher, so they've used 3 different catchers on the year. Here's the pitch. That's down low. Bounces away about a foot or so. And the count now is 3 balls and 1 strike. Jordan Osborne doing camera work here. Getting a chance to watch his first Oak Ridge baseball game. Jordan is a National Merit finalist, and I'd like to wish him congratulations to him. And there's a walk here, so they've got runners at first and third. That means you're a smart guy, aren't you, Jordan? He doesn't want to answer, but we're really proud of him. And National Merits don't come along very often, and he's on our crew. You might be the smartest guy we have on our crew, Jordan. And we appreciate you. But now let's get out of this mess here. The Wildcats are in. Runners on the corners, first and third, 4th inning. 2 outs, though. This guy reached base safely his first plate appearance. First pitch is a little bit outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 4-1 our score. Tying run at the plate, though, in the person of the left fielder. That's Ragland. He reached base safely his first plate appearance. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. 2 outs, 2 on. Parks comes to the plate. Oh, boy. Pretty pitch there from this vantage point. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. We're on the road here at Cookeville, but that one looked pretty good from my vantage point. We'll check the video later. 2-0 pitch. That's a ball inside, and he's in danger of walking the bases loaded here. And on deck is a guy that hit the ball back to him for an out in his only plate appearance. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 on. Here's the pitch, working quickly. Oh, boy. That looked good, too, but that's going to be a walk, too. So kind of squeeze the strike zone on Mr. Parks here. And Coach Free wants to have a little bit of, actually, one of the other assistant coaches wants to have a little word with the entire infield. He brings them in. Bases loaded for Cookeville in a 4-1 ball game. The Wildcats in the lead. Matthew Swigert, if you just tuned in, hit a home run to lead off the ball game. 2 home runs in 2 ball games for the senior. And he has a single also to his credit here. So 2 more hits for Matthew Swigert. Really the first inning, with the exception of the first, that Parks has had any kind of trouble at all. He has really basically cruised through the ball game and trying to get out of this mess here. Umpire letting him talk a while here. Long conversation. Now comes to a close, and let's see what Parks can do to get out of this inning. They have the bases loaded. 2 outs. The inning started out pretty easily, but a little bit squeeze strike zone and a couple walks here, and let's see if he can get out of this mess. Number 8 hitter for the Cavaliers represents the go-ahead run. Righty versus righty here. Pitch is a called strike at the belt on the inside corner, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bases loaded for Cookeville. 1 strike to count to Smith. He stands in. Parks comes to the plate. The 1 strike pitch. Good stop by Jacob Franklin. A pitch down in the dirt, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Number 9 hitter Ennis is on deck for Cookeville. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Smith. Parks checks the runners. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2. That's a pretty pitch. At the knees, right down the center of the plate, and he's ahead in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. After taking the last 2 or 3 batters, taking most of the pitches, the umpire has seen the light here, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and the 1-2 pitch from Parks. Here it is. Oh man, that was strike 3 all day, all night, but he didn't call it, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty pitch right there. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Parks has the sign from Franklin. And the 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air, right field and deep. Very deep. Back to the fence. McNaughton looks up. It's gone. That is a grand slam home run. Grand slam home run, and the Cavaliers have a 5-4 lead. So Smith hits a grand slam home run, and the Cavaliers now lead it by a score of 5-4. So after not getting the call on what should have been, in my personal opinion, strike 3, they get a grand slam, and the Cavaliers now lead it 5-4. So ball was hit in the air. They have a high fence out in the right field. The ball just kept going backwards, and Alex McNaughton just kept going back and back and back, and the ball just sailed over the fence, and it's 5-4. Grand slam home run. So we've seen about everything in this one. A triple play and a grand slam. That pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. But to Parks' credit, he should have had strike 3 on the previous pitch before the home run. My personal opinion. But it's 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Nice hit, though, by the number 8 hitter to get the ball out of the park. Nothing against him, but he never should have been batting. Count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Now Parks is looking at walking the number 9 hitter. And I don't know if the Wildcats will get somebody warmed up. He's been just kind of cruising along until this inning, really, and he lost his control. There's a called strike at the knees, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Grand slam home run here in the 4th inning. and the Cavaliers lead it 5-4. Parks to the plate, hit in the air, foul over towards the first base side. Lukowski is going to try to make the play, try to one-hand it, and goes off his glove, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kind of getting razzed from the fans outside the right field fence for that one. There's a lot of foul territory on both sides, and Bryce got to it in time, just couldn't quite make the play. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count, nobody aboard. They have scored 4 runs here in the 4th inning to take the lead 5-4. Parks has a 3-ball, 2-strike count on the number 9 hitter. It was the number 8 hitter who hit the grand slam. That was Smith. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside a ball, and that is another base on balls. And strike zone gets very, very tight when the Cavaliers are batting. It is very, very wide when the Wildcats are batting, and he's evidently catching some flack because on that pitch he just kind of glares into the Oak Ridge dugout. Honestly, I'll say it again, the grand slam never should have been hit. It should have been strike 3 before he ever saw that pitch. And here's the pitch. There's a called strike, and the count is now no balls and 1 strike. Back to the top of the order we go, and that is Jackson Kelly. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Good lead at first. 5-4 our score here. Here's the pitch to the plate. Slow one, hit foul again over towards the first base side. Long, long run for Ludikowski, and it goes out of bounds. Or goes out of play. Out of bounds. I'm still in basketball. Goes out of play, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. 5-4 our score. Cavaliers taking the lead here in the 4th inning. The Wildcats will have the 5th, 6th, and 7th to rally back into it. The Wildcats have been able to get runs in a variety of different ways here today. Here's the pitch. Hit well to center field. Matthew Swigert deep, but he's going to make the catch. He circles and makes the play for out number 3. But the Cavaliers, they bat 8 in the 4th inning. They score 4 and take the lead. Wildcats trail at 5-4. We'll be back to Cookeville, Tennessee for the top of the 5th in a moment. David Clary back here along with Jordan Osborne. Here we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Wildcats now trailing for the first time today. 5-4 our score, and the leadoff man this inning will be Caden Black. He singled and scored the Wildcat run back in the 3rd inning, and he stands in. Righty versus lefty, and here's the pitch. Hit foul. Back out of play. over the top of us, and the count is no balls and one strike. Caden Black is a freshman. He, as I mentioned, he's 1 for 1 in the ball game. Picked up his 5th hit of the season. Little guy, right now anyway. He's a freshman, as I mentioned. That pitch is hit over to the left side and foul out of play. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. The top of the order, Matthew Swigert and Jacob Franklin will be the next two to hit behind Caden Black. I've seen a lot of the Black family play over the years, including Ron Black, his uncle, Chris Black, as that pitch is outside a ball, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody aboard, nobody out. Leadoff man here in the 5th inning for the Wildcats. Caden Black stands in, and here comes the 1-2 pitch. Holmes has the sign, a new catcher in there for them. Here's the pitch, hit fouled. Back, catcher can't hang on, and Caden stays alive, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matthew's on deck, Matthew Swigert. We'll hope you'll tune in Wednesday night. Coming up on this coming Wednesday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. We'll have another Covering the Bases show. We'll have a couple of seniors. Hopefully one will be doing impressions. I don't know if it's his turn, but we'll see. Here's the 1-2 pitch, hit to the shortstop, and that is a line drive out for Caden Black. Hit the ball hard, but out. And that is out number 1 here in the 5th inning. And we go to the top of the order once again to Matthew Swigert. Matthew is 2 for 2 in the ball game, a leadoff home run in the first, singled and scored a run back in the 3rd inning. Wildcats now trailing 5-4 on the strength of a grand slam home run. In the bottom half of the 4th inning, Matthew stands in. Here's the pitch. Hit hard, but foul. Down the first base side, rolling deep into the corner, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Matthew's home run was to left field. His single was to right field. Let's see what he can do in his 3rd plate appearance here. 5-4 our score. Jacob Franklin on deck for the Wildcats. 1 out, the pitch. Hit foul. Coming back our way. Still going to stay in play. The catcher circles, makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and the batter will be Jacob Franklin. One of the rare times that Matthew hadn't barreled one up, but that is out number 2. And Jacob Franklin will stand in. Jacob picked up an RBI back in the 3rd inning. He is officially 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Had a solid single to right field. Batting with nobody aboard here. The pitch to him is hit foul. And out of play once again, over to the right. If you've never been to Cookeville High School, they have all their facilities here. They have their football field here. It's a beautiful school. It's probably about 10 years old or so. Kind of looks like a lot of the schools around here. It kind of looks like Stone Memorial and Wilson Central and some of those schools. Lebanon, it's they all kind of look alike. Really nice brickwork, but they've got a lot of land here, and their baseball field, their softball field, their soccer field, their track, and baseball field are all on the same footprint here at the high school. And it's very flat up here on the plateau. 2-strike pitch to Jacob Franklin. That is called strike 3, and that is out number 3. Best inning since the 2nd inning for Connor Holmes. He gets him 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning here from Cookeville, Tennessee, and the Wildcats trail Cookeville 5-4. And we'll be back on our Prep Radio channel on YouTube in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville, Tennessee. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning.
Okay.
It led most of the ball game until the fourth inning. A grand slam home run off Franklin changed the score to 5-4. The Wildcats very much in it. Now we need a shutdown inning. He'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Cookeville lineup, and there's a swinging strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Infield outfield remains the same for the Wildcats. And this is Skylar Allen stepping in. He is 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Grounded out to Logan Rosenberger, his last plate appearance. Ball's hit foul. The count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 5-4 our score. Road trip here in Cookeville, Tennessee. Cool, but not cold. The wind's not blowing. It usually seems to blow up here, but it's very calm as we sit here and watch this one. That pitch eluded the catcher, Jacob Franklin, and goes back to the screen, but no harm, nobody aboard. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Number 2 hitter in their lineup. He's a lefty facing Parks. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air, foul. Off to the left side, out of play. Over into the parking lot, heading towards a blue Caravan van, hopefully with its windshield still intact. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Nobody aboard, nobody out here. Jordan Osborne doing camera work here as we broadcast here this ball game. Pitch is hit on the ground, foul up the first base side this time, and remains foul, and the count remains at 1-2. As I mentioned, for those of you who are wondering about the Oak Ridge's next ball game, they'll play Coalfield in an unscheduled ball game tomorrow, 2:30, at Bobby Hopkins Field in Oak Ridge. That's an unscheduled ball game. And here's the 1-2 pitch, bounced to the plate, and the count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Next week, the Wildcats, I think, will play the Anderson County Mavericks. I believe that'll be a Monday, Tuesday, and I'm forgetting if the first game is at home or if it's on the road. I'm asking the fans, the Anderson County games on Monday at the first one. Monday's the home ball game, and the Tuesday game. I'll let you give a shout out.
Hi, this is Mamacita Swag, giving a shout out to Katie, Kelly, and Nana.
Heather, do you want to say something?
This is Heather Hartman, and shout out to my brothers and sisters listening and watching.
Okay. Nothing's happened in the game, and we got some information and got some love from some family members here. Ball's hit foul at the first baseline. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff man for the Cavaliers. 5-4 our score. Here comes Parks to the plate. 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground. Shortstop Caden Black. Convenient hop. Quick throw to first. Great play. Nice play by Caden Black. He fielded it cleanly and immediately fired one hard to Lodokowski at first. And that is out number 1 here in the inning. And the batter now will be Davis. Davis has reached base safely on 2 different occasions. Right-handed hitter hitting in the number 3 spot for the Cavaliers. The pitch to him is bounced to the plate about a foot in front of the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. We're at the bottom of the 5th inning here from Cookeville. Parks has gone all the way for the Wildcats. The pitch is hit well to deep center. Swigert going back on it, looks up. The ball is off the wall, the base of the wall, and that'll be at least a double. Here comes the throw, and it is a 1-out double. That ball was hit, thank goodness, to the deepest part of the park. It might have hit right off the base of the wall, and that is a 1-out double. And the batter now will be number 20, Ty Gant. He is the designated hitter. He is 0 for 2. He hit into that triple play to end the first inning. A soft fly out to center field. They've got another runner in scoring position. That ball was hit hard and very, very long. As Franklin gives the sign, 1 out here in the 5th. Right-handed hitter. And the pitch to the plate, bounce to the plate, bounces away a little bit. Franklin recovers quickly and keeps him from moving down to third base, but the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Franklin might have the longest hair of any baseball player that I have ever seen in my entire life. Nothing against long hair. I think a lot of women probably would be a little jealous of his hair, actually. It almost goes down as he bounces one up there, and the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Jacob Franklin is a pitcher. He plays the infield, and he's also a catcher. As I mentioned, this is the 3rd catcher the Wildcats have used this season, and we're only into the 7th game here. 5-4 our score. We're in the 5th inning. They've got another runner in scoring position. This one does bounce away, but the runner doesn't pick it up. Franklin might throw him out here. Here comes the throw, and it eludes. A very slow. He didn't read the ball real well. Franklin almost had an opportunity to throw him out there at third because he didn't break to the bag, and the count is now 3 balls and no strikes. And I think Mr. Parks might be getting a little tired because his pitches have come up a little short here this inning. He's got a runner at third, a 3-ball no strike count. The pitch, there's a called strike. Well, took something off there. This is the cleanup hitter in their lineup. As I mentioned, he 0 for 2, hit into a triple play in the 1st inning, flew out to Mitchell Gibbons in the 4th inning. He hits the ball to him once again. It might be over the top of him. It goes to the fence. It goes to the wall. It goes out of here. That is a home run for the Cavaliers. And so he got all of that one. It is a 2-run shot, and Ty Gant gives the Cavaliers now a 7-4 lead on the home run. And I kind of thought that he was kind of running out of gas, and he kind of, to get a strike on the first pitch, he kind of took something off and kind of threw it down the middle, and he was taking all the way and tried to do the same on that one, and he got all of it, and the Wildcats are going to make a pitching change. So not a bad outing, really. Just kind of ran out of gas. Honestly, I think he still should be in the lead. That grand slam, to me, I'll say it for the rest of the night, he never should have been batting. He should have struck out on the previous pitch, but that's baseball, and they have scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings to take a 7-4 lead, and Parks comes out of the ball game, and he will be replaced on the mound for the Wildcats. And we'll take a quick break here while we have a pitching change. We'll be back to Cookeville. 7-4 Cavaliers, back in a moment. Sophomore Eli Ford will be our next pitcher for the Wildcats. He is a sophomore. He is a left-hander, and he'll take over for Parks, who pitched into the 5th inning here. Has given up 7 runs. Nobody aboard. There's 1 out here. I'll figure up his totals. As I mentioned, we're sitting in the bleachers, and it's dark, to be honest with you, and it's kind of hard for me to see the totals here. Wildcats led most of the way, had a 4-1 lead until the previous inning, and as I mentioned, they have scored 6 unanswered runs to take a 7-4 lead, a 2-run home run, and a grand slam home run. The difference in the ballgame to this point, and the lefty Ford will take over on the mound for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. Hope you're enjoying our streaming of Oak Ridge High School baseball. We are live here in Cookeville. The Wildcats will be playing at home at Bobby Hopkins coming up tomorrow at 2:30. Home ball game. We will not broadcast that ball game. The Wildcats will play Anderson County Monday and Tuesday, as Ford will face his first man. That'll be the number 5 hitter. That'll be Logan Sides. He has struck out and rounded out. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Foul back to the plate, or ball back to the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Ford is a sophomore. As I mentioned, he's a lefty for the Wildcats. Don't have any pitching statistics on him as the pitch is cut on and missed. And the count is 1 strike. Wildcats. See if Park stayed in the ballgame. I didn't see if he stayed in the ballgame or not. I believe the lineup remains the same. Franklin's still a catcher. That pitch is way up high. And the count is 2 strike. 7-4 our score. The Wildcats trailing here from Cookeville. The pitches are signaled in from the Oak Ridge dugout. 2 strike. Hit foul and out of play. One out here in the 5th inning. The Wildcats down 7-4. Got a 2 strike count on sides. He'll be followed by Hall in their lineup. Hall has reached base once in the ball game. Lined out to short his other plate appearance. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's a little bit high, perhaps. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Eli Ford pitching for the Wildcats. Second pitcher used for the Wildcats. And the lefty comes to the plate with a 3-2 pitch. That's high, and that's ball 4. So, leadoff man facing Ford reaches base safely on the base on balls. And the batter now, as I mentioned, will be for them. That'll be Christian Hall, the first baseman. He lined out to short, as I mentioned, in the 2nd inning. Reached on a walk in the last inning. They got a runner at first. They've plated 2 here in the 5th inning. 1 out here. Ford checks the runner. Short lead at first. 7-4 Cavaliers. Ford comes to the plate. Called strike at the knees on the inside corner. And the count is 1 strike. Ford wears number 10. The Wildcats are in the grays out there. As you can tell, the sun has come down here at Cookeville. A little chilly, but not bad. 1 strike the count. Runner takes his lead off of first. Ford comes to the plate. Breaking pitch. Cut on miss. Here's the throw down. And they've got him. If the tag is on him, he didn't get the tag on him, I guess. Kind of a slow runner right there. And Franklin's throw was good. Rosenberger tried to put the tag on him, and evidently he just slid under it. And that is a stolen base. So they've got a runner in scoring position with 1 out and a 2 strike count on Hall. Sides takes his lead now off of second. Ford checks the runner back at second, and here comes the 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air. Right center field. Matthew Swigert makes the catch. Tagging, but not going anywhere, is the runner at second. So the ball was hit on the nose, and Matthew Swigert was in perfect position to make the catch for out number 2. And the batter now will be the catcher, Carson Ragland. Ragland has reached base both times he's been at bat. He walked back in the 2nd inning. Walked in the 5th. They've got a runner at second, but there are 2 outs now. 7-4 the score. The Cavaliers on top. Ford trying to get out of the inning here, and the pitch is a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Bottom of the 5th, as I mentioned in high school ball, they play 7. Wildcats still have 6 more outs to rally. Down 3, 7-4 the score. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Ford from the stretch, checks the runner at second. Runner going. Pitch is not going. He did not go. He broke and didn't go anywhere, and the count is 1-1 on a called strike. Not a bad-looking shot there. Jordan Osborne looking at the YouTube stream as we broadcast here on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. 7-4 the score. Ford trying to end the 5th inning here. Got in the first 2 he's faced. All right, he walked the first one. There's a called strike. He walked the first one, fly out to center for out number 2. The first out was recorded on the leadoff man. Parks got Allen to ground out to short, but they hit a 2-run home run in between here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Eli Ford to the plate. Runner is going this time. Cut on a miss. Throw down. That's a strikeout anyway. Or evidently they're going to say perhaps a ball, because that should have been a swinging strikeout. That should be strike 3. Maybe a little clarification from the umpire, unless that was a balk. That's the only thing I can think of, because that would have been strike 3 unless that was a balk. And I didn't see what he did, but here's the pitch. Hit to right field, pretty deep, but the Wildcats under it and make the catch for out number 3. So
5 innings.
So the Cavaliers score 2 runs here in the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 7 for our score. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville, Tennessee. The 6th inning just underway. It'll be Updegraft along with Rosenberger and McNaughton to lead things off for the Wildcats. Hopefully more here in the 6th inning. The Wildcats now down 7-4. Caden has had a rough game. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game, and he takes a strike there. And the count is no balls and 1 strike. Rosenberger on deck for the Wildcats. Caden back in, right-handed hitter. As I mentioned, fresh off the basketball court, where he's part of the Final Four Wildcats. See the other 2 guys, Milloway and Miller, here tonight. They're not with the traveling party here at Cookeville. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Caden. And the 1-1 pitch. Hit foul. Back to the screen on the right side, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caden struck out in the 1st inning and was out in the 3rd, so he is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Had a couple doubles in the Clinton ball game on Tuesday at the fairgrounds in that 11-1 victory over the Dragons. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch to the plate. He swings and misses, and that is a strikeout. So Caden 0 for 3 in the ball game, and that is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. And the batter will be Logan Rosenberger. Rosenberger scored back in the 5th inning. He was out in the 1st. He has 0 for 1 in the ball game with a walk. He walked his previous plate appearance and did come in to score. 1 out here, nobody aboard. The pitch to him. There's a called strike on a fastball, maybe the best fastball he's thrown all night, at the knees, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. We're in the 6th inning. Wildcats down 7-4. Oak Ridge was up 4-1, but a grand slam and a 2-run home run have erased that lead. And there's a called strike at the knees, and Logan behind in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes. Alex McNaughton on deck for Oak Ridge. Rosenberger stands in. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch is low and outside. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wildcats had a 4-1 lead. The Wildcats had a triple play to their credit in this one. A home run by Matthew Swigert. But the Cavaliers, 6 unanswered runs here. There's called strike 3, and that is out number 2 here in the sixth inning, and the batter will be Alex McNaughton. Let's see what Alex has done. Alex has struggled in this one too. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts in the ball game. The Wildcats have struck out quite a bit in this one. I'll do the tally here. Connor Holmes has done a really good job. He's been hit or miss tonight. If that's to make sure that's still Holmes out there pitching. Here's the pitch. Called strike. McNaughton throwing a strike, and he's behind in the count. No balls and 1 strike. Let's see if we still have people watching here. Jordan Osborne. We'll check our count here. And we do. The number's gone up here, and there's a called strike once again. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. First baseman on deck for the Wildcats. There are 2 outs, though. We're in the 6th inning. Getting late here. The Wildcats down 7-4. Pitch is hit hard into center field, and that is a base hit. So Alex McNaughton has a base hit, and he's aboard, and the batter will be Bryce Ludakowski. He is the first baseman.
Number 20.
Bryce has struck out twice in the ball game, and both times trying to redeem himself. The junior first baseman from upstate New York, probably a Yankees fan. And I direct that in one direction over there. Got some Red Sox fans sitting close. I'll ask Bryce sometime if he is a Yankees fan. Might be a Mets fan. I mean, that's okay. That's not okay. I guess if you're a Boston person, you don't like anybody from New York. There's a swinging strike, and count is no balls and 1 strike. McNaughton takes his lead off of first. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. The Wildcats down 7-4. On deck for the Wildcats, the pitcher, Eli Ford. Here's the pitch. It's high, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Bryce walked a couple times in the Clinton ball game on Tuesday. The Wildcats were rained out yesterday. They were scheduled to play Fulton. Weren't able to do so. McNaughton takes his lead. He has a 2-out single. He's at first. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to the Wildcat first baseman. The pitch is high, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. I don't know if Ford is batted this year. He might get a chance to get his first plate appearance. Let me look at the statistics, but Bryce has got to get on base here. Nope, this will be Eli's first at bat if he gets a chance to bat in this inning. 2 balls, 1 strike. McNaughton still at first. Don't think he'd be running in this situation down 3 late in the ball game. Holmes checks the runner. McNaughton. Pretty good size lead, and Bryce gets tired of waiting and calls timeout. 7-4 Cavaliers. Cookeville tomorrow. Anderson County Monday and Tuesday. They're back in the district play. The Wildcats 3-1 in district play as the pitch is, oh boy, that's inside. It's a called strike, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. McNaughton once again takes his lead off of first. Ludakowski takes his lead or steps back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check the runner. 2 outs, 1 on, and the 2-2 pitch. Cut on a miss, and that is a strikeout, and that is out number 3. So the Wildcats get a 2-out base hit. They leave him stranded. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here at Cookeville. The Wildcats trailing the Cavaliers 7-4, and we'll be back to Cookeville, Tennessee in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville, Tennessee. We're streaming this game live on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. Wildcat fans, Cavalier fans, whoever might be watching, we've got a 7-4 ball game, bottom of the 6th inning. Wildcats have 3 more outs. Try to get even with the Cavaliers or maybe take the lead here. Eli Ford, his 2nd inning of work here. Got 2 outs in the previous inning. His pitch is hit on the ground. Caden Updegraff fields it, throws on the first. Nice play for the Wildcats, and that is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Caden, a nice play down at third base. He really looks good. I mean, you'd think that he hadn't been playing basketball for the last 4 months or so. That is out number 1 here in the 6th inning. The number 9 hitter is Ennis. He's a strikeout victim and walked his other plate appearance. Number 9 hitter, top of the order on deck here. Eli comes to the plate. There's a called strike. And the count now is no balls and 1 strike. 7-4 the score. You just tuned in. We've seen a triple play, a grand slam, and a leadoff home run in this one. Matthew Swigert. We also saw a run score on a ball that was bounced on a strikeout off the catcher's head back to the screen, and a Wildcat scored a run, but the Cavaliers have scored the last 6 to lead it by a score of 7-4. Swinging strike there, and Eli Ford looking good. Left-handed sophomore. Trying to get out number 2 here. There's nobody aboard. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ford comes to the plate. Breaking pitch hit on the ground, weakly up the third base line, but foul. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jordan Osborne's done our camera work, done our technical work, got us on the air. You know, I'm not saying that I'm technically challenged. I can do some things. I can turn on a TV. Jordan got us on the internet for the whole world to see. We appreciate him doing that for us on our YouTube channel. Our second ball game of baseball. As the pitch is hit foul off to the right side and out of play. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. I want to remind everybody we have a baseball show on Comcast Channel 12. It's called Covering the Bases each week. It'll feature Travis Free or one of his assistant coaches. And we're going to interview players. Going with the senior class here. We'll have 2 more seniors probably on Wednesday. I'll leave that up to Coach Free to decide. There's not a whole lot of seniors on the team. We had 2 this past Wednesday as that pitch is hit foul back to the screen once again. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have Jackson Rafferty. We have Hayden Morgan. We have Mitchell Gibbons, Jeremy Miller, and Jonathan Milloway. I believe that's the remaining seniors on the roster, and we'll get those guys in. Then we'll move down to the junior class as that pitch is high and inside. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. I just want people to be impressed by the fact that I haven't seen a whole lot of baseball, but I've remembered these people's names and their classes. That's I'm bragging on myself here, Jordan, trying to get the fans to appreciate me. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count here. Eli Ford to the plate, hit foul again. This one goes over the top of the press box, slams into something, and the count remains at 2-2. 1 out here, nobody aboard here. We're in the 6th inning, bottom of the 6th. Beautiful night we had here in Cookeville. A bright moon above the field after a rainy night yesterday. 2-2 pitch. Oh, just a little bit high, I guess. Right at the belt, and that's ball number 3. Every time a pitch does not go to the liking of the Wildcats, the umpire glares down towards the Oak Ridge dugout, either expecting to be harassed or he is hearing something out of the Oak Ridge dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lefty comes to the plate. That one's high, and that is ball 4. And that is a walk. And once again, they'll have runners at first with 1 out. And back to the top of the order we go to, looks like Jackson Kelly. And they're going to have a courtesy runner into the ball game for the runner at first. 1 out here. 7-4 our score as we play here at Cookeville, Tennessee. Broadcasting here on YouTube on our Prep Road channel. And looks like Jackson Kelly, let's see, he scored their first run back in the 1st inning, grounded out to Caden Black in the 3rd, and flew out to Matthew Swigert in the 5th inning. Runner at first. One out here. Eli Ford working his second inning. He's going to throw over to first and back to the bag safely. And they're going to call a balk again. So that's his second balk that has been called against him. I guess he didn't step off and stepped right towards the bag. So it's a runner at second now in a 7-4 ball game. 2 balks for Eli in this one. Had a pretty good move, it looked. Now, umpires called 3 balks in the ball game. You don't see that very often. And here's the pitch is hit to center field. Matthew Swiggert's there, though, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So that's out number 2. And now the number 2 hitter, the second baseman, that is going to be Skylar Allen. Allen is 0 for 3 in the ball game. Grounded out to second to Rosenberger in the third. Grounded out to Caden Black in the 5th inning. And also was out in the first. Reached on an error in the first inning. Lefty versus lefty here. 7-4 the score. Eli Ford checks the runner at second. And the first pitch. Outside the ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Allen. The Wildcats in the top half of the 7th will have the lower third of the order. Ford, Lang, and Black, the scheduled hitters in Coach Travis Free's lineup here. 1 ball, no strikes to count. 2 outs here in the 6th. 7-4 the score. The pitch is hit on the ground. Caden Updegraff fields it, has the play, throws on to first in time for out number 3. So Updegraff makes a couple nice plays, and that closes out the side for the Cavaliers. We go to the top of the 7th inning. The Wildcats down 7-4. Rally time for the Cardinal and Gray. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Cookeville. Eli leads things off for the Wildcats here. I think his first plate appearance of the season for the Wildcats. He's a lefty. Wildcats down 7-4. Just got a text message from former Oak Ridge baseball coach Tom Froning watching the ball game tonight back in Oak Ridge. Pitch is cut on and missed. Count is no balls and 1 strike. Zach Lang is on deck here. And once again, Eli stands in. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Wildcats down 7-4. Needs 3 to tie, or the game comes to a close here. Eli back in, down low a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Lower third of the order, as I mentioned, Zach Lang is on deck. He's the designated hitter, hitting for Mitchell Gibbons today. And then Caden Black. Caden's hit the ball well on 2 different occasions. Has a single, has a line out in his other plate appearance. Back in, here's the pitch. It's high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. To the pitcher for the Wildcats, sophomore, lefty, wearing number 10. 2 balls, 1 strike. Cavaliers trying to knock off the Wildcats and end their 2-game winning streak here. And here's the 2-1 pitch. That's a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. The Wildcats need base runners. See if Eli can be the first one here in the top half of the 7th inning. Catcher wants a new baseball. Throws it back to the umpire, and he puts it back in his pocket, and we'll probably see it the next batter. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. Righty versus lefty here. The Wildcats need base runners. Let's see if he's taken all the way here. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the 3-1 pitch. High and inside, that's ball 4, so a good start for the Wildcats here. A leadoff walk. And the Wildcats have the runner at first, and the batter will be the designated hitter, Zach Lang. Zach has struck out twice today. We're going to get a courtesy runner. Looks like Slay's going to run for the Wildcats pitcher. Yeah, it's a courtesy runner. And Jason Slay is the man, number 5. And Jason's a sophomore too. I'll check his class here. And he is a sophomore. Takes his lead. That's a big lead out there. He's got to be careful. Don't want to be picked off. As Zach Land stands back in, the coaching staff says for him to take a step back. You don't want to be picked off in this situation. And it's very easy for a sophomore to come in the ball game and kind of make a mistake there, trying to make something happen. As that pitch is hit on foul territory over towards the clubhouse and on the roof, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Coach Free a little bit upset. I think he evidently wanted something to happen that did not happen there. He came out of the dugout to voice his displeasure, do a little coaching. As Slay will take his lead off of first here in a second. Lang will step back in, behind in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Slay takes a short lead off of first. 7-4 the score. We're in the 7th inning, top of the 7th. The Wildcats need 3 to tie. Here comes a throw over, and Slay is back easily. Leadoff walk. The Wildcats have that man on with nobody out, and Lang the batter with a no ball and 1 strike count. We're in Cookeville, broadcasting on YouTube on our Prep Radio channel. Have a lot of people watching us, and we'll have you can watch it. It'll be archived where you can watch it at any point from now on. Here's a 1 strike pitch. There's a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Wildcats with Caden Black on deck. Then the top of the order to Matthew Swigert. Zach in the hole here. No balls and 2 strikes. He struck out twice today. Trying to reach base here, but he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Cut on and swung on, and that's a foul tip strikeout, and that is out number 1 here in the 7th inning, and the batter will be the freshman Caden Black. Caden singled his first plate appearance. That was back in the 3rd inning. Hit a liner to the shortstop for an out in the 5th. He has 1 for 2 in the ballgame. Matthew Swigert on deck. He hit a home run, has a single in the ballgame. Got 2 hits to his credit. 7-4 the score, but there's now 1 out here. Slay's still the base runner at first. The pitch to Caden is high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Caden Black is a freshman for the Wildcats. Came in at 222. A couple got on base a lot in the early ball games. Kind of struggled in the Clinton ball game on Tuesday, but has looked solid here today. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Needs to get on base somehow and bring the tying run to the plate in the person of our leading home run hitter, Matthew Swigert. That pitch is low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Love to see Matthew, who doesn't really consider himself to be a home run hitter, but he has 2 in back-to-back ball games. He told me his job is to get on base and steal bases and score runs, but he has a couple of home runs. But love to get Caden Black on base here too. Slay takes his lead off of first. The 2-0 pitch to Black. Called strike and taken all the way, of course. Like I said, we need base runners. No need to swing there. And Caden's got a small strike zone here, so the pitcher has to be pretty perfect here. He's been outside on the first 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Slay takes his lead off of first in a 7-4 ball game in the 7th inning. Freshman back in. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground hard on the left side and off the Oak Ridge dugout. And now we've got an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A little bit behind on that one. Let's see what the freshman can do here. As I mentioned, he singled and scored a run back in the third inning. Needs to get on base somehow here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. The Wildcats down 3 as we play here in Cookeville. The stretch and the 2-2 pitch. That's a ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Low and outside. And the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Had a lot of people watch our broadcast here. We had over 400 watch the Clinton ball game. Had several watching here tonight, and we appreciate you. We'll do a few more games this year. Don't have a schedule of those yet, as we'll let you know. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch is hit on the ground. That's a base hit in the left field. So the freshman has 2 hits in the ball game. Really nice piece of hitting there for the freshman, Caden Black. And now the tying run does come to the plate in the person of Matthew Swigert. And really good job of hitting there by Caden. He had 2 strikes on him. He just hit it where it was pitched through the hole between the third baseman and the shortstop, and the tying run does come to the plate in the person of Matthew Swigert. Matthew hit a leadoff home run in the first inning, had a single and an RBI in the third, and popped out to the catcher in the 5th inning. So he is 2 for 3 in the ball game. 7-4 the score. The Wildcats have runners at first and second. 1 out. Jacob Franklin on deck. Let's see what Matthew can do. Here's the pitch to him on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. Wildcats led in this one at one time 4-1. A grand slam home run and a 2-run shot. Wildcats trying to rally here in the 7th to extend the game. Down 7-4. 1 strike pitch is cut on and miss, and I think he was thinking about home run number 3, and now he's just got to be a contact hitter. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second is Jason Slay. Runner at first is Caden Black. Sophomore at second, freshman at first. Senior batting, no balls and 2 strikes. Steps off the rubber and chases the runner back. And here in a moment, we'll have another 0-2 pitch to Matthew Swigert. Jacob Franklin on deck for the Wildcats. 1 out. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bounce to the plate, bounces away, and Slay and Black are going to advance to second and third, and Matthew Swigert will have a 1 ball, 2 strike count. The ball bounced away just a little bit. Slay with a nice break on it. Got to third, drew the throw, and almost the throw went into left field. And they were lucky, honestly, that it didn't. The Wildcats have 2 runners in scoring position here. And the double play, not a situation right here, although we saw a triple play earlier in the ball game, hit into by the Cavaliers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leading RBI man on the team with 2 guys in scoring position. Let's see what he can do here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is called strike 3, and Matthew knew it, just couldn't pull the trigger on it, and that is out number 2, so it comes down to Jacob Franklin here. Jacob stands in. He is 1 for 2 in the ballgame, 1 for 3 in the ballgame. Was out to the second baseman in the first inning, singled in the third, and struck out in the 5th inning. 7-4 the score. The Wildcats down to their final out here in the 7th inning. Here's the pitch to Franklin. That's a called strike on a breaking pitch, and the count is no balls and 1 strike. On deck for the Wildcats is Caden Updegraff. Caden's had some nice plays in the field. Over 3 at the plate here. Just hoping to get a chance to bat here in the 7th inning. Jacob stands back in. The pitch to him is hit on the ground to the shortstop. He boots it, and he can't come up with it, and he's able to throw him out at first.
Your final score.
Tough break there for the Wildcats. He hit the ball hard. Shortstop fielded it, fumbled it a little bit, and just was able to recover to throw out the base runner, and that ends the ball game. The final score of the ball game, the Wildcats defeated here in Cookeville by a final score of 7-4. The losing pitcher in the ball game was Parks. The winning pitcher for them is Connor Holmes. Wildcats in a great one. Really, it was a fun game to watch here. The Wildcats last couple of innings kind of lost it a little bit. Obviously, 6 unanswered runs for the Cavaliers. Good win for Cookeville. A come-from-behind victory over the Cavaliers, and the final score is 7-4. They're about to do a presentation here. Evidently, he's got a milestone win, sounds like. And we're going to see here. It's going to be a presentation to the Cookeville people. And Wildcats defeated here in this one 7-4 in our second.
Last Friday over Arab, Alabama, the win marked the 500th victory in the career of Coach Brent Butch Chaffin.
500th win, so that's a big milestone here. Congratulations to him. 500 wins as the head coach. 33rd win, 24 years at Cookeville. Congratulations to him. 500 wins Friday over Arab, Alabama. We have a former Wildcat son playing for Arab, Alabama. David Benson, who played at Oak Ridge way back in the day. I think he played either in the early 90s or maybe even the late 80s. His son plays for Arab, Alabama. So they got their 500th win against Arab, Alabama. I don't know. I guess it is an Arab. So we'll be taking a break here. I'll be back to get the totals in a moment. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Coach Travis Free here in a bit. The Wildcats defeated here in Cookeville by a final score of 7-4. Wildcats got a triple play in the ball game, something you don't see very often at all. And Wildcats got a home run from Matthew Swigert. Really, I thought Parks pitched pretty well and kind of ran out of gas there at the end. And the Cookeville Cavaliers hit a couple long home runs, a grand slam included, to beat the Wildcats 7-4. Oak Ridge's next ball game will be tomorrow, 2:30 at home against Coalfield. The Yellow Jackets and the Wildcats at Bobby Hopkins. Get a chance to talk with Coach Free in a moment. We'll take another break. I can't let the music play here, so I'm going to turn off the mic. 7-4 the final score, and we'll see you tomorrow.